I had a pretty eventful day this week going to help out a friend to get a boat over here to Liberty Bay. And before I get into this, I'm going to go ahead and show you a quick clip of my optimism that morning. Hey, so I'm getting ready this morning to go help Aaron. He runs Longship Marine up in town. And we are going to go help a guy with I believe it's a 53-foot steel sailboat. We're going to help him bring it over. Aaron has a tug, so we're going to cruise over to Eagle Harbor and Bainbridge Island. It's going to be like an all-day thing, so it ought to be fun. Now, after all of the crazy stuff went down, here is a short clip of kind of my comments right after it all went down. I really wasn't in my head at all at that point. It was so crazy. So it might be a little bit foggy in here, but Aaron just dropped me off on his boat to help him throw the sails up, and it ended up drifting into Blakely Rock. And I just got back onto the tug now, and we're towing him now because the engine died. I guess there was a battery issue. It wasn't plugged into the charger all night, so that was a experience, running aground in a steel boat and then finally getting back onto the tug. Yeah, more later once I can comprehend it all. Alright, a little bit of backstory on this. The 53-foot sailboat that we're going to help bring over here, he had anchored near Blakely Rock, and the boat had caught fire, and it took the Coast Guard about 3 hours to actually put the fire out. They dropped his chain and put a buoy on it, and then towed him into Bainbridge Island, or into Eagle Harbor, to the public moorage, so that he had a place to be. We pulled up in Eagle Harbor to help him fix some of the exhaust so that he could get underway. He didn't want to be towed all the way. He wanted to actually motor. So he fired the engine up. We started to leave Eagle Harbor. And as we got right towards Blakely Rock, the engine died as he throttled down because we were trying to look for his chain. Aaron and I took the tug around to a couple different buoys we saw, and we couldn't find any one of them that was attached to any chain. So we decided to go back, and he wanted to get his sails up and try to just sail. So I went over to his boat to help him put the sails up. Aaron suggested one of us should go over there, so I figured it was his tug, I should go. And luckily I did. So we ended up kind of drifting around a little bit with the sail up, and then a big squall hit, and the boat was heeling so bad that the boat really just was not set up to sail at all. So I really don't know why we were trying to sail, but I mean, hindsight, we ended up actually running aground onto Blakely Rock. And here's a quick little map of what kind of had happened. So this is Blakely Rock, and this is where we went aground in the boat. We went aground. I'll try to just draw you a line of kind of the events that happened. We went aground right about, my guess is here, and this is at this picture of the rock is at a higher tide or a lower tide than what we were. We were actually coming up to a high tide, which helped us out. So we went aground right about here somewhere, and we were there for about, I don't know, 10 minutes or so. It's hard to tell. I didn't look at the time, and when you're running aground, you're just trying to get off. So with no power, we ran aground about there. We ended up kind of bouncing around. We got up off of there, and then where I think we went aground again was right about in here. You know, we were there for another about 10 minutes or so, and then we got up off that, and we ended up going aground about here, and then we were bouncing around there for another probably 10 minutes or so, and we kind of just kept like bouncing and bouncing and bouncing and bouncing until we finally got to the back side of the rock, and the wind was coming from the north, so it was blowing this direction, going down on this map, and we put the jib out to try to help grab the boat and kind of wiggle it off until we finally came off the back side here, and that's when Aaron could finally get us a rope again, or a line, to give us a tow. And we ended up coming from Polesville, which is here in Liberty Bay, around the top here, and we did that with the tug, and then we went into Eagle Harbor, which is where he had his mooring. He was actually at the city dock there. And then we came out, and his engine died in here, and then we decided we wanted to put he decided he wanted to try to put the sails up, so I went over to his boat to help him with the sails. And then that's when we went aground. Sorry for that. I don't know why my Windows 7 wants to tell me stuff like that. We went aground, and then when we came off the backside, we hooked up, and Aaron towed the boat all the way around the bottom side of Bainbridge Island, and then back up to Liberty Bay, so that we didn't have to beat all the way up here while towing a boat. I unfortunately didn't get any footage of us actually on the ground, actually hitting Blakely Rock, but I did get some footage of us going to pick him up, and a little bit of footage of the dock the boat was at, and of the boat, and of the boat motoring, and of us towing. I really wish I got some more, but you know, when you're in that situation, you're on someone else's boat, I didn't want to be disrespectful and pull out a camera and start filming. So it's, you know, this is what I got of the day. Walking down the dock to the tug, Aaron was actually still at the store, so I decided to take a quick little video of what his tug looks like. I believe it's a 1930, and it is a beautiful boat, and he's done a lot of good work to it. Sorry for the beads of water on the window here. It is the Pacific Northwest, and it does rain quite often. Bainbridge Island is where the ferries come in, and in Eagle Harbor, I believe, is where they dock to do some minor repairs on the ferries while they're still in the water. So these are all the ferries that are just kind of hanging out, either waiting for repairs, or I'm sure some of them are probably there just waiting to go into service if another one breaks down.
We will tie up. See that catch right there on that dock? The red trim.
The finger in the video for me is one of the hardest things, but we actually just got some new equipment, so hopefully that will be a thing of the past. This is a quick walk down the public pier in Eagle Harbor on Bainbridge Island, and it is such a pretty harbor. We actually thought about going there and mooring our boat there as a liveaboard, but we really liked Poulsbo, so we've decided that we're going to stay. The beginning of the trip started out fine and seemed like everything was going to go as planned. I tried my best to wipe the lens off here, but as you can see now, we're towing them. Crazy day. Having to tow the long way around Bainbridge Island, we ended up getting there well into the night.